11:55. Almost midnight. Enough time for one more story.
So around October, I got this comment saying that the weirdest thing they've come across on YouTube is a guy with a box for a face. All just one word. So I thought it might have been a YouTube channel, and I decided to search it, and apparently it is. Each of his videos is about a guy who has a cardboard stuck to his face with eye holes, and he's basically in a dark room and usually has an inspirational speech by a famous person dubbed over him. Bit of a weird one. The speech is actually dubbed over this guy with a box for a face, and he pretends that he's the one that's obviously saying it.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone.
While this is happening, there's some music that's being played as well, and together with the speech and the music that he chooses, kind of fits together pretty well. It's a rather bizarre and mysterious channel, and I actually started investigating it in October, and I was actually going to make a video on it for one of my series that I created, Mysterious YouTube Channels. But then I never actually got round to it. I only ended up doing one episode, which was on 70 Broad, which, by the way, has kind of cancelled. You might actually want to go check out that channel, and he'll explain exactly what happened. There's a bit of a problem. He's kind of being investigated by the police right now. I don't really want to make a whole video on it. I don't want to feel like I'm getting views off of his pain, so I'll just mention it here. If you go check him out, he'll explain it much better. But anyway, back to this. He was going to be the second episode of this series, however, I just never got around to it, and eventually his channel kind of just stopped uploading, so I just thought, oh well, that's kind of the end of that channel. Until recently, when it started again, and has gained probably an extra 1,000 subscribers since I last saw him. So he's on 2,000 subscribers now. Not only that, I tweeted him back in October and never really got a response until a few weeks ago when he actually sent me a picture. I don't know if he put all else, but there it is, you can probably see it on the side. And the final thing that got me researching the channel was a comment on my Robert Heltman video that said, "Guy with a box for a face sent me here." And so I thought, okay, maybe that's just a coincidence. Maybe she saw, you know, one of my videos in the recommended section and just clicked on it and then just said, "Guy with a box for a face sent me here for some reason." But then I saw that 7 people liked it, so 8 people in total were sent by Guy with a box for a face to my channel. Somehow. Notifications. So I looked through the channel and his social media and I pretty much found nothing. I didn't find anything where he'd shouted me out. The only thing I can think of was the tweet that he made to me when I actually messaged him. It just, I don't know, it was a bit weird to say the least. I don't know if he's made that account and then he's decided to try and get me to make a video. If he has, then bloody well done. I just found it rather confusing and I wanted to start investigating him a little bit more. Just basically to see if I can find anything about the channel. Because one, I actually like the channel. It's not like a horror type thing or gory like Poppy or Don't Look at Me, I'm Scared or Lasagna Cat. It's actually a mysterious channel this time, and I'm rather intrigued if there is actually anything to it. And obviously, since I got a few people being sent by Guy with a box for a face, I don't know how, but you know, I thought, you know, let's return the favor. So as I've already established, the majority of his videos are just in the dark and you can usually only see him and his hand. Sometimes there's a couple of props, but mainly the same thing that happens throughout all of them is that there's music, him, and no background. Sometimes there is speech dubbed over him, but not all the time. I've also found out that in the comments section, he responds to his audience in quotes. If someone has a question about the channel, it's usually responded within a quote, if he can find a quote that fits the response he's looking for. And sometimes when he doesn't have a quote for that particular commenter, he just replies with a smiley face. I think it's rather a unique way to respond to your audience, and it's something different, because this character that he's created, he doesn't seem to have a voice. He actually has to speak through other people. Is there anything to that? Probably not. I think it's just his own little way of being a bit different from others, and it's a pretty cool way in my opinion. I actually quite like the idea that he can only speak using other people's quotes. From looking at all the videos and his social media, I don't think there's an actual story that he's trying to tell us in any way. However, I do think he has a message. Notice how every single video, it's just him. Sometimes there's props, but only if absolutely necessary. With there being nothing in the background and it's just him he wants you to focus on, he's trying to show us that we can take the smallest of resources and still make an entertaining video. We don't need a huge background, a huge budget to make a good video. If we actually look at a lot of YouTubers now, they are putting in a lot of money. I mean, for me as well. You know, we put in a lot of money to make entertaining videos, and I think a guy with a box for a face is trying to show us that you don't need all these different things in the background to keep an audience. If you pick the right music, the right equipment, and the right idea for your video, you can make it entertaining without using a huge amount of money. I think the best way to say it is he's taking the smallest of resources and then thinking outside the box, which is ironic, considering his head is a box. So, thinking outside the box, yeah? I think that's what he's trying to say. You don't need zoom-ins, you don't need all this big CGI or anything like that. You just need a camera and your own imagination. If you think outside the box, be creative, you can make a pretty good video. I've probably repeated that a couple of times. And I think I have an idea where he got the inspiration to make his own videos and deliver this message. I do know his first ever video was uploaded 14th of July 2016, 7 months ago. There was someone else around that time that had a similar style that also used the smallest of resources and still made it entertaining. And that guy is called Tapeface. He appeared on America's Got Talent I think 9 months ago, according to the actual America's Got Talent YouTube channel. He uses oven mitts to sing to each other as if they're in love, and he uses a toothbrush to pretend it's an aeroplane. Just the smallest of things put together, and he manages to make it entertaining. And he has a tape on his face so he can't talk. He also got to the semi-finals, I think, or quarterfinals. I don't know how the America's Got Talent works, but I know he got to a few more rounds, and those rounds happened 7 months ago, around a similar time when Guy for a Box for a Face started making videos. And I think the final piece of the puzzle is what Tapeface used to be called. Back in 2012, he wasn't just called Tapeface, he was called Boy with a Tape on His Face, which is very similar to Guy with a Box for a Face. I know Tapeface has been around for a while, but he appeared on America's Got Talent 9 months ago, and since then has gained 47 million views on just that one video. So yes, he was performing shows back in 2012, like I said. He was on the Royal Variety actually, and he was probably quite popular over here in the UK, but in America he wasn't, until 9 months ago. And I think that's when Guy with a Box for a Face got his inspiration to start making YouTube videos and deliver the same type of message Tapeface was doing. It could be wrong, I don't know. But if you do want to check out Guy with a Box for a Face, the link will be in the description below. And if you want an actual recommendation on what video to watch first, I do recommend his very first video, A Message to All Humanity, as that was my personal favourite. Also, if you want to check out Tapeface, the link in the description will also be below. Yeah, I said that right, didn't I? That's his very first audition video that was actually over 47 million views. I hope you guys like this video. I actually wanted to bring this show back that I made it back in October, where I talked about 70 Broad, whether it was real or fake, and now I wanted to bring it back and make a few more videos, because I did say I was going to make this series and I never did. So I thought I'd start with Guy with a Box for a Face, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, maybe subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, or maybe follow me on Twitter if you want. I'm not good at this advertising part, so I'll just end here. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, and don't pull a Pickard.